There we are again. It hasn't been long. We're still Hype Shoutcasting on the 7am channel. And we're back for the second game of this best of 3 quarterfinals between Iron Squad Academy and KVM Mechelen Academy. Last game, Iron Squad took it pretty convincingly with some high damage picks. And we'll see if KVM can bounce back from this 0-1 deficit. I always love it when Bobacek is talking with his buttery smooth voice, but he's super muted.
Oh, the buttery smooth voice. Don't want to take that away from you guys. Yeah, Iron Squad coming in strong with high damage picks. Expecting some different bans actually on the side of KVM now. The Lulu ban for me was interesting. I understand it because, you know, you're expecting the Kog'Maw, don't want Kog'Maw and Lulu to come through, but you're expecting Viego. There's not really a lot they were able to do against a Viego. They weren't really prepared, I felt, for a Viego as good as the one they saw last game. So maybe expecting them to ban that one away, maybe picking it up themselves. I'm not sure if they have any people playing it. I don't think they do. So expecting a couple different things there. It does look like KVM is going blue side this time around. So it definitely will be a different draft than the one in game.
Yeah, we'll have to see how it goes. It was very clear to me that Ian said, tanks are overrated, we just need damage. Soraka will keep our health bars up and it's fine. And I mean, if they have a good performance with Soraka here, do you even mind using all those bans for the supports? You can just ban the Kog'Maw if you really don't want to lane against it, and that saves you 3 bans. Yeah, I want to swap to the draft if I get it here.
It does make a little bit of a change, of course, depending on what side you are, blue or red side. As both teams, once again, smoothly making their way to the lobby, getting ready for this second game here. KVM dropping their first game of this qualifier versus Iron Squad Academy. And if Iron manages to win the next one as well, then they will be going through to the semi-finals directly. And that would mean the end for KVM Academy. Of course, gonna be not as easy said as done.
Yeah, last time around it was always the 2-0s that went through in these stages. We'll see if it's a trend that keeps on setting here, or if they can effectively make it a 3-game series. I mean, some resistance, we're in the quarterfinals. Come on guys, show us what you got.
Let's make it an interesting one. Team Thrill, by the way, beating Moosh Gaming in their first game, so they're up 1. Bastards Esports won their first one against Genk, and Connecting Esports, not very unexpected anymore, beat SGC Academy in their first game, as the draft is gonna start off, I believe. Doesn't look... It looks like draft law is once again bugged. Never mind. They're waiting for someone. I lied. KVM is still waiting for one more player to come through. Yeah, so we're expecting, of course, Team Thrill to beat Moosh Gaming in the second game as well. Meaning that Team Thrill would be the opponent of either Ion or KVM, depending, of course, on the rest of the series here. Thrill being last week's champion of the Open Tour, so that's going to be definitely a difficult contender, difficult opponent, sorry, for either team. As the draft has started, KVM's first ban is Gwen.
Yeah, to be honest, you have to beat Thrill at some point if you want to win this Open Tour, so it's not that bad that you have to face him. And if you can beat him, you immediately show that you are the team that is gonna be on top of these qualifiers in the end. As you said, the Gwen and the Akali being banned, these champions are not gonna come through. The question is, are they gonna let Viego come through? KVM is first pick here, so they might force the ban onto Ion or pick it themselves. Nope. They say that one goes.
And once again, the Zoe and the Xerath being banned here. Akali, of course, being banned by red side, of course. Otherwise, blue side is able to pick that up on their first pick. Viego being taken away. Ezreal is going to be picked up here. So we've seen KVM play it before. They played it pretty well. if I may say so myself. I don't know why I said that, because I had nothing to do with it. Expecting another Orianna game here from Henk, to be honest. Not a lot is probably going to change for him, as Orianna is always a solid pick. Unless maybe against something like Lucian. Corki, once again for Ion, did really much work in the last game. So it would make a lot of sense if they picked it up again.
Yeah, you're saying Orianna is always good for Hank. That is true. However, Ion Squad managed to play around it very, very well with their macro plays. So maybe
a lot of whiff shockwaves.
Yeah, some whiff shock and some single target shockwaves, not really what you want. So maybe he's gonna try to pick something else, of which he may be able to surprise Ion Squad Academy. The Ziggs is effectively locked in here, and it will likely be a Ziggs in the bot lane, since we already have the Corki as well. I love that. I love Ziggs bot, it's just so good, and it also means that they're likely gonna have a roaming support on the side of Ion Squad Academy. They're really copying a little bit of what KVM's main roster is doing.
Yeah, the Ziggs bot would be very interesting. I'm expecting it to go that way, at least as we did see Corki being played in the mid lane by Ion last game. So expecting the same thing again, as Azir has been picked up by KVM for the mid lane pick on their side, which is a matchup we saw, I think it was last season. We saw it quite a lot, Corki Azir, because they're both basically late game scalers, farmers. They laned each other a lot. And now Xin Zhao being picked up here for KVM, so Gnome is not going for the Hecarim this time around, picking up the Xin in the jungle.
Yeah, of course, Ion Squad showed that they are not that afraid of the Hecarim here. Hecarim has changed a lot, and maybe he's just not that powerhouse that he used to be, but some change. Xin Zhao has had a buff on W, can dash way farther, and he just does such crazy damage. Maybe KVM says this time around we're also going to invest heavily in those triple, quadruple threats in this comp.
Kindred is, I think, one of Tidus's favorite champions, or at least he played a lot in the past. As the next banning phase is underway, Mortar, you're not allowed to play that. Wukong gets banned away again. And this is actually one of the first times, I think, that we've seen KVM's opponent consistently ban away the Wukong. We've seen teams leave it open, not respect it as much, and it never really turned out very well for KVM. And Ion Squad clearly did their homework and says, you know what, guys, we have to respect the guy's Bonky Monkey. Take it away. Gangplank also being taken away this time around. Don't want to see that again on the top lane of Ion Squad. Was a bit of a nuisance. Also, the Nocturne didn't really come in as much as we would have hoped last game, so I'm not expecting another Nocturne game from Mortar here.
Yeah, and it's, of course, because Gangplank, he really shuts down those melee laners in the top lane, so they really want to give a little bit more room towards Mortar there, so that he can be that carry that he often is for this KVM squad. KVM squad. KVM Academy. We'll have to see if they able to give him something that he can carry with. The Shen is still open, Jax as well, but you know, I've given up the dream of Mortar playing Jax.
Janna wasn't banned this time around. That's probably Aetheri's favorite support. As I said before, I think it was something like close to 180 games played this season. By far his most played champion, at least on that account, with a 56% win rate. So he knows
Blitzcrank
how
locked
that
in.
works. That's fun. I like it.
I mean,
Like that a lot.
I see Kindred, I see Jenna lock that Blitz, just yoink him out of that ultimate, out of the Lamb's Respite, and kill him. Yeah, I love that pick. It's really good as well, because you see the lineup of Ion Squad Academy. They have 4 champions that you can pull. There is none of them that you're saying, it's not the best if I pull that in my team. No, you give that one to us and we'll finish him. So, great pickup here, the Blitzcrank. Love it.
And then Lee Sin finishes off the squad on KVM. The composition has been completed. Set looks to be coming through. We saw Set versus Lee Sin yesterday, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, and Set just completely slapped Lee Sin in lane. So yeah, that's going to be interesting to see if Mortar is able to play that matchup a little bit better, or if it's just clearly a Set favored lane matchup. Both teams have completed their drafting phase. We're going to redraft in client, of course, and then jump right into that second game between these two teams, Iron Squad versus KVM. Iron Squad, of course, picking up the first game between these two, 1-0 ahead. If they manage to finish this second game with a victory as well, they will be going through to the next round, likely against Thrill Academy. And that would mean the end of the road for KVM. But of course, we are not that far yet.
You know, I really love the drafts here. We see some picks that we don't usually see. It's not all the flavor of the month. We have the Ziggs in the bot lane with the Janna, because just those comfort picks are there. And then the Blitzcrank as an answer in the draft is really smart in my opinion. We'll have to see how it goes. As you said, top lane, as what we have experienced here so far, is that it is a set favored lane match, just because he has the sustain. So if they trade, he will come out on top eventually. And a lot is gonna depend on the jungle here. Who clears faster? Is it the Kindred or is it the Xin Zhao?
It's pretty equal, I believe. I'm a terrible Kindred player, so please don't ask me too many Kindred questions. The champions really.
What second does Kindred clear her third camp?
I have no clue. No, I'm pretty sure their clear is pretty close to the same. Kindred, of course, having the extra cooldown on her Q if Lamb is there with her, fighting along her side. Xin, of course, getting the attack speed buff from his E, from the dash. What's it called? 3 talents, right? No, that's his Q. The dash, at least.
It's called the dash.
The dash. Here's a tip and a spear behind it, by the way. One of the best lines in the entire game. Lately, with the Divine Sunderer buffs, we've seen a lot of Divine Sunderers being built here, expecting at least one more this game on the Corki. Prowler's Claw, sorry, not Prowler's Claw. The other one, Stridebreaker, probably going to come through on set here. So no Divine Sunderer in the top lane. Xin Zhao has a couple possibilities. We saw him build Divine Sunderer yesterday. He has the Eclipse build as well. Which one would you prefer here? What are the advantages and or disadvantages of both?
Honestly, this is a game where you go full damage. Even if you go tank, you're not gonna tank that lineup from Iron Squad. They have just too many. They have the Corki, Ziggs, Kindred, and Seth. He loves you to go tank, so he can dunk some more damage on your team. So I feel like you wanna go for that roaming dead squad with the one-shots. You Blitzcrank hook someone in, or Xin jumps someone and Azir throws a soldier behind it, so you have all those spears in the face. That's the way to go. I don't think frontlining will really be possible, because they also pick the Lee Sin, who typically wants to kick the key target towards you. Lee Sin is also not known for being the super tank. So I feel like they want to invest heavily into damage. Maybe Bruiser is also definitely fine, but we're not going to see any full tanks here.
Most likely not. Of course, Divine Sunderer isn't really a full tank build. It's more of a bruisery build. I'm expecting him to go Divine Sunderer just because the item is really strong at this point. Xin works with it really well. If I play Xin and I'm ahead, I like to go Eclipse because it's just almost more fun. Because of the fact that it just does so much damage. Also, something you touched on before is the fact that we were expecting, or you were expecting, I kind of was as well, the roaming support because of Ziggs in the bottom lane on the side of Iron Squad. But it turns out to be a Janna, and Janna's shield gives people AD, so it doesn't really help out against the Ziggs.
Janna can roam. Ziggs,
yes.
Ziggs is gonna normally out-clear the Ezreal there. Blitzcrank is not gonna help that much. And then Janna can roam towards the mid lane. She always has that super annoying W, she has the shield, she can just chunk someone out. There are possibilities there. I just wonder how Super Fardo is gonna play this Blitzcrank, because I love Blitzcrank as a champion, but he is the literal definition of a hit or miss champion. You can have the godlike Blitzcrank that hits every hook that he throws, he predicts it all, he does it when it counts, or you have that Blitz that misses everything. And if Blitz can't hit a hook, that champion is useless. He just puts wards down. He can peel a little with the punch, but there's not much you can peel from because they are basically all ranged.
Full AP Blitz ult.
Full AP Blitz ult, I guess. But
Not gonna happen, but I mean...
yeah, it's not gonna happen. We're not gonna see it here. I mean, if Superfarter does that, he's instantly promoted to MVP of the game. But it's not gonna happen. He's gonna go support build with, I don't know, Knight's Vow and stuff like that. But we'll have to see how he plays it out. And if he yoinks people in the bot lane, it's looking good for KVM.
If the Blitzcrank manages to find the hooks, we've seen games in the past where a very strong Blitzcrank can really just completely put the game in their favor. Turn the game around with a couple of hooks, find the Ziggs, find the Janna, find the Kindred, as you said, out of her own ult. There's just so much potential there with those hooks, but as you said, if the hooks whiff, yeah, you're playing 4v5 at that point. And the Blitzcrank doesn't really do anything, so you're going to have to look for a couple of picks there. Both sides have scaling, with Kindred and Corki on the side of Iron Squad, and of course Azir on the side of KVM Academy here. I don't think they have any other real scalers on their side. No, they don't, as we are going to jump into the loading screen. Of course, Ezreal works pretty well into the late game as well. That being said,
I feel
loading
like,
screen.
I feel like they all scale better than they used to. I mean, especially Sin, for example. He scales better with the current items, current meta being in his favor, especially with him getting some more gold, that he reached those spike moments earlier. Sin is in a good spot right now, so I think they don't need to fear the clock that much, especially with the Azir banked up right there in the mid lane.
Yeah, no, at this point with Azir, exactly. Both teams have more than enough damage. Both teams don't really have a front line either. So it's going to be a lot of fighting, a lot of damage, a lot of punching, no you situations, and probably, just like last game, a lot of fighting and a lot of contesting of major objectives. And we do see Iron Squad jump right out of the gate as 5 and KVM doing the same thing. So we could see some interesting stuff if they meet somewhere in this early game.
Yeah, and it's always fun when coaches and staff prepares them for these games. They really look at how the early game looks like from the enemy team. Do they invade a lot? Where do they stand? Can we get something out of it? And you see both teams predict where the other team is gonna be, but it is not happening here. So they kind of miss each other, but I like the proactive one because the game starts immediately and not when the minions spawn, so good on them.
Both teams trying something here. As you said, not really going to be anything though, and it looks like the junglers are going to start on the same side of the map, meaning that we could see some action early on the topside river with the Scuttle, as we did yesterday with connecting Esports. That was of course a very roaming Thresh who was basically everywhere. We could see something similar from Superfarter here on this Blitzcrank, roaming around the map, leaving Ezreal alone. He's basically as safe as Tristana in lane with that jump. So we could see a roaming Blitzcrank here.
I mean, I'm a fan of roaming Blitzcrank, go for it. I just don't think that Ezreal will be able to clear the wave fast enough against the Ziggs and Janna, because you know you have that double ranged bot lane who always has that form of priority at the point in the laning phase. Meanwhile, Badpie immediately asserting dominance onto Mordor. However, you're level 1, you do not have the Haymaker, and Lee Sin level 1 is scary because of his passive, giving him the extra attack speed, and a lot of people might not judge that properly. We could have jumped here, I feel like. He would outtrade Badpie.
At level 1 he would, level 2 is going to be a bit more difficult because Badpie then either has the Haymaker or the extra damage on his Q, finds a Face Breaker in the top lane, and he did go for the Q level 2, and that's so much damage from Set instantly. And Lee Sin already in trouble. Set is one of those champions where another melee champion really has quite a lot of trouble being able to do anything in lane.
And these days you kind of get scared to pick a melee champion or a tank early on for the top lane in the draft because there are so many bullies out there to make your lane miserable. It used to be, oh, please don't pick Teemo. Please don't pick Teemo. That was the one where you were scared of. But these days, you see it last game, you have the Gangplank, you have Seth who murders tank, you have Viego, oh wait, and that lovely girl with the scissors, oh yeah, Gwen, yeah, she wrecks a tank as well. You have so many options now to counter a tank that, yeah, no wonder we don't see any in these games.
Yeah, there's not a lot of people who play the tanks in the top lane. We haven't seen any this open tour, I believe, with you know, a lot of things going down, like the Wukong, like the Set, the Lee Sin, etc., etc. And the both junglers on the top side of the map. It looks like Scuttle is going towards Kindred. However, the bottom lane from KVM is taking away the Kindred stack, it seems, in the bot side of the map, though.
Yeah, Kindred is trying to get the stack up as fast as possible. Of course, she's looking for those 4-stack mark. She can have that extra range in her kit. Looking towards top side now.
Oof.
Ooh, Mortar goes in at the wrong time here.
Slow gonna come through. Facebreak already have been used. So much damage there. First blood eventually for Kindred is into the turret. The flash. Oh, he misses that one. But Henk is there with the TP. Finds a trade kill eventually. But yeah, the flash from Xin Zhao basically for nothing as he misses his spear.
Yeah, too bad for them. It's 1v1 trade, but first blood does go towards Iron Squad. And yeah, Kindred picking up a kill. Not sure if she had him marked as well, but if so, that is definitely worth for them.
Kindred doesn't have any marks yet, I believe, as the first one was picked up by KVM's bottom lane. Ezreal Blitzcrank doing that one. Superfighter going in for the hook, goes for the fade away, but eventually doesn't manage to find GG Sirs Ziggs, who of course can just farm really safely with everything in his kit.
Yeah, and that's always scary to throw out your hook as Blitzcrank, because sometimes you just have more pressure not throwing it because you have it up and they know it, than throwing it and then giving away pressure for the next 15 seconds. It's a hard choice sometimes.
Of course, if you never throw a hook,
You never miss it.
but also you never hit it.
Yeah, it's
But still, don't throw it, because then they think you will. Of course, you never throw it and they start to catch on to the fact that you never throw it. But then suddenly the bamboozle and you do throw it. Oof, the mind games, Blitzcrank.
especially against like Morgana lane, where you know that she has the black shield. So the first 10 minutes you never use that hook. You walk forward, you never use it, and then suddenly, bam, you throw it out and she reacts too late because you snoozed her to death.
You snoozed her into your own victory.
You make it a snooze fest.
Let's giggity go. No real ganks have been coming through this game. Of course, the one in the top lane, so much damage coming through there from the Kindred Facebreak. And the top lane going wide as Mortar is now going to go in for a lot of damage, but he takes a lot as well by tanking a turret shot. And yeah, look at Iron Squad already putting up so much pressure here for this first Drake and probably Kindred's first stack of the game as well.
CS difference is not really there, everyone holding it down for now. Blitzcrank is looking for the mid lane.
Orky no longer has the dash away, and he does get taken down. Second kill for KVM, second one for Azir. Henk is on the board, definitely. The first Drake of the game looks to be going towards Iron Squad as KVM is collapsing them. Meanwhile in the top lane as well, a little bit of a fight between these two guys. Hook gonna come through, Kindred's gonna go down, doesn't have that Lamb's Respite up yet. He goes down, 2 kills for KVM and a Drake for Iron Squad.
KVM making a play here. They seen enough in the top lane. They say we're gonna play Rotten Dragon and make it work. They pick up the first Drake. Iron Squad picks it up, but KVM gets the kills in return. Next one is the Ocean Drake, which means we're not gonna have that rift here either. But it is a 2-0 and 1 Hank here. Had a rough game on the Oriana last time, but this time on Azure he has the makings for a strong late game bird.
And just like last game, a small early game lead for the guys of KVM Esports. 1k gold ahead. But once again, they are a Drake behind. Once again, Iron Squad prioritizing the Drakes maybe a little bit more. Winning fights there as well. Gives them a little bit of an edge. And it might be enough to once again turn the advantage around later on into the game. And then we've come at a point as well in the game where Kindred stacks are now in the enemy jungle.
They're looking to push this out. Maybe they're
Herald.
switching off towards the Herald. Of course, Kindred is nearby. Can contest if you want, but super farther as well. Sports moving towards. It's gonna be a full 4-on-4, but of course Bad Pie not moving yet. Is there a hook?
Oh, the hook goes wide, but it doesn't matter because Azir is there. Oh my god, it goes so low, but it's Hank eventually finding the kill once again. True Shot Barrage came through as well. And as we said, Super Farther is starting to go for more roams. And leaving Ezra there, and it immediately worked out for them. Herald goes towards KVM. That's a good trade after giving away that first Drake.
They are able to pick those kills up, and the Herald early on so important to get that gold lead rolling. Because you can get those plates before 40 minutes, and if you can stack that onto someone, gonna be a very happy camper to get a buy-in. However, who is not happy to camp here, it is Mortar. He is going down towards hands of Bad Pie and sub of Nukori, and Corki is here with the package.
Package gonna come through. There's so much damage gonna come through now. Nomus jumps in, uses his ultimate to try and tank that. Lancer Spike gets used. That means no one goes down quite yet as Bad Pie is in the middle of the fray. He doesn't go down. He still has his Haymaker up, I believe. Yes, he does. He uses it eventually to tank even more damage. Now Destrim might be in trouble. Ezreal is there with the damage. Hank gonna go lone. Shut down. Goes towards the Ziggs as Hank finds his first death of the game in this one. And Iron Squad coming out way ahead in this fight.
Iron Squad clutching into good Lamb's Respite of stuff of Nukori. Was so low and still full health now at the end for 2-2 Kindred. And Kindred is one of those champions that I don't hate it. I just can't play it, and I see a lot of people fail, but when I see it in games like this, I can recognize the power of the champ. Meanwhile, Nomis trying to get the Janna here, hits it. This should be a dead Janna, goes for it as well. It's so dangerous.
He finds the kill, flashes away eventually, and he baits Kindred into that one eventually. Even Kindred gotta find a kill. Ooh. Survive? No, he doesn't. Eventually goes down to the Ignite on Blitzcrank. If that wasn't put down on him, he would have survived taking the kill onto Mortar. That was a weird little exchange. Can you call the jungler Titus? I am trying to call the jungler Titus, but my partner loves the sub of Nukori.
Sub of Nukori always. But we'll keep it in mind because we are not sure these days. Everyone is changing names or using other players, so eventually you can just call everyone. It is Kindred. Just to be sure.
Just to be sure, let's just call them by their champion names. No, of course it is Titus for Iron
Or
Squad.
when you have an inappropriate name, as yesterday in the game with the Nocturne, you just say Nocturne.
You just say Nocturne and you don't care about their name. At this point, KVM already lost their advantage, their gold advantage. Iron Squad being able to turn this one around. Ziggs throwing a lot of stuff towards Ezreal. He's trying to juke left, right, and center. Gets slowed by the Zephyr. Doesn't have his jump anymore. Tries to do as much damage as he can. True Shot Barrage is going to come through. Is it going to be enough? Not at all, as they do go to half HP.
Ooh, close though.
It was relatively close now in the top lane. Bad Pie going to jump in with Stride Breaker onto Mortar. Uses his Face Breaker as well. Haymaker going to be juked by Mortar. Is he going to be able to maybe kick him into the turret? Nope. Kicks him away.
You can see they are going head to head. Mortar is 0-3 at the moment, not the greatest early game for him, of course, with a lot of pressure set onto him by Iron Squad Academy. They are looking to secure the second Drake of the game, and they are really playing consistently for these early dragons. They know that it is a good way to set you up for the late game. They managed to get the Cloud Soul in the last game as well, pretty early on. And we'll see what this new rift is gonna be. If it's Infernal Rift, it is gonna be so huge that they pick this one.
Nope, it's Cloud Rift again.
And now it's medium huge.
Now it's medium huge.
Yeah, not
It is medium
not
huge.
big huge.
But medium, small huge, SMOL huge.
Small.
KVM picking up their first drake of the game. Small little bit of extra health regen and all that jazz with their Ocean Drake. And yeah, another Cloud Rift, which of course both teams would like. Which is kind of a weird thing to say, because who wouldn't want a Rift?
I mean, yeah, there's not really an option for not wanting it. Meanwhile, bet by getting tagged by the missing hook misses. Oh, the dive. Yeah, GG, sir. You are dead, my good sir.
I'm sorry, I had a little bit of a choke moment there. He's gonna get dove in the top lane. His turret goes down. He goes down as well. And that was pretty good juke in the bottom lane by Ziggs, but eventually he does go down. And now a 3-man push in the top lane, so this turret should go down as well, or at least pretty low. I think it's probably gonna go down as the next minion wave comes in as well. And meanwhile, KVM trying to trade it off with the first turret on their bottom lane. And also their first turret of the game.
Yeah, Bot Kingdom was able to pick up an extra plate on the bot lane right before it was the 40-minute mark, but eventually the second tier turret picked up for Iron Squad Academy. Yeah, it's pretty big for them, so still worth for that cross-map play on the side of Iron Squad Academy here. We have to see how it goes. We haven't really seen any 5v5 team fights here so far. It's really been trading across map constantly, but it always fell a little bit in favor of Iron Squad so far. But Hank, he's strong. Bot Kingdom is strong. They do have the kills on the right targets on the side of KVM.
And at this point, Kindred on 4 stacks already. Of course, every couple of stacks, Kindred gets a little bit stronger, making her one of the greater late game scalers. If she manages to, of course, get ahead and get the stacks. If she falls behind, she has her ult and that's it. But of course, at this point, 5-3-3, Kraken Slayer finished, 4 stacks on the road to have a good game this time around.
And if we look at the gold, we can see that there is a difference between the junglers. The Kindred 1.6k gold above Nomis here. Still is doing a very good job in maintaining that lead. And the rest is fairly even, except for Mortar, who has been targeted so heavily, is over 2k behind his counterpart Bedpie. So top lane, it has a hard time for KVM, and the rest is maintaining it fairly well, even Hank being ahead of his counterpart. So Hank is the guy to watch here in this game. He is the one that has to carry, he is the one that has to do the great and terrifying Shurima shuffle at the right time, and then they can win. Or you know, just a hook from super farther.
Could be important as well, of course. And that's where it comes. Flash still gets silenced. Desrim is able to get out of that one. Ignite ticking on him is not going to be enough. And now Gnome is going to jump in using his ult now to tank some more damage up. And Hank is going to come in. Is he going to get dash for the Shurima shuffle? Not quite yet. The Herald is still alive. Gets reset eventually. Now they're going to be able to do some damage onto Bedpie. Not going to be able to find him quite yet. Hank trying to zone them away. The teleport from Corki coming in from behind, but now another teleport coming in as well. That should be Ezreal. The kick away. Desrim is not allowed to take part in this fight. And now both teams are there. It's going to be a 4v5 as Ziggs is still in the bottom lane. And KVM decides to eventually just, you know, run away, not really contest that anymore. Bedpie gonna jump in. Hadn't seen Super Farter was still there. Use the face break, and Nomis is gonna be in trouble. It's gonna be Super Farter who goes down eventually. Desrim with another great package. Nomis is gonna go down to the Ignite. Is it gonna be enough? Face breaker should be up any moment now. Doesn't need it. And with an auto attack, Set is able to pick that one up.
Yeah.
3 kills and a Herald for Iron Squad. Nothing for KVM Academy. This is looking good for Ion, not really great for KVM.
Indecisiveness by KVM Mechelen there, as well as, I'm not sure if it was a misplay. We see Corki walking towards the brush. if Super Farther was able to just do the knock-up first into ult and then hook him back once he jumps over, would have been a better play, but I understand that you want to play it safe and not want him to spot you before, so it was a bit of a trade-off there. But the fact that Desrim lives there does make it a 5-on-5 still for the Herald, and they lose that as well. Mortar does a bit of a weird kick onto Desrim there to get him out, but the hook lands.
Ooh, the Super Farther almost able to take down Kindred with his team. Not going to be enough. They do a 1-for-1 trade eventually. Now the rest of Iron Squad should be there as they're looking to find Nomis. He uses Smite to survive. It's not going to be enough. Another great hook. Desrim this time gets taken out, but he's not going to be taken out. He's going to get hooked and he survives. It's going to be a double kill. It's going to be a triple kill. Last rocket even. Desrim finding 3 kills, going from 0-2-6 to 3-2-6, and the second Drake for Iron Squad is hit theirs as well.
And we haven't talked much about Desrim in this series, but second game he's playing Corki and he is such a beast on this champion. Last time around he did a great package, destroying everyone in a team fight, and this time around picking up that triple kill. He definitely knows how to play the mustache man while they're running towards the base. Are they gonna threaten this turret? Everyone is up from KVM, so I'm not sure if they need to overstay their welcome here. The hook lands.
And it's gonna be more than enough, as Bad Pie a little bit overextending there. And gets taken down. Of course, 2 turrets for Iron Squad, a lot of gold coming their way. As they're on 2 Drakes, next one spawning in 4 minutes. They of course missed the second one of the game, delaying the soul just a tad. And at this point, 8-4 and 5 Kindred is super scary already with 5 stacks.
Yeah, we've seen it before, the hook landed on Kindred, but they were not able to finish Tidus off in time, meaning he can immediately drop down at Lamb's Respite. Such a strong ultimate, really can turn the tide in a team fight when you think all hope is lost. Just puts it down, nobody dies, everyone heals, and they can keep doing damage on those high health targets on the side of KVM Mechelen. If we look at the gold, we do see a significant lead for Iron Squad Academy with 8,000 gold. But it's not lost. It doesn't feel like KVM Mechelen can do anything anymore. There's always hope with the Blitzcrank, with a good hook. And of course the Azir has been performing pretty well this game. Just in this last team fight, there is a little lead by Desrim now.
Desrim has a slight lead, but of course Azir 4-3-2. Still pretty strong, looking to go for Nash's Tooth next. As a little bit of movement around Baron Nashor by Iron Squad. Not gonna go for it, just putting down some vision for the you never know situations. Now a lot of movement here in the top side of the map.
Trying to clear out the vision, but they are afraid of what is there. If Iron Squad pulls the trigger, it is a fight that they will most likely not win. They really need to play on their peak potential of the comp, but Kingdom getting chunked down by the bomb. Meanwhile, they have started up the Baron, it's going very fast with his damage, and Desrim is backing up.
Meanwhile,
people engage.
Trying to zone, he's able to satchel charge his way out of their mortar with the TP, joining in on his team as well. Teleport from Corki coming through, he probably has his package up. Bot Kingdom gonna go.
Oh my god, the package!
Insane! The amount of damage from that package, is ridiculous, as Bad Pie dunks Nomis onto the last standing member of KVM before Nomis goes down himself as well. And that is Iron Squad probably able to finish the game here. They flash into here using Lamb's Respite to survive. Kindred surviving with basically 1 HP. The entire minion wave is there. Perfect timing by Iron Squad. What a fight at the end. Insane teleport by Desrim. Ridiculous amount of damage from that package. Perfectly placed. And KVM got annihilated in that last fight. Iron Squad finishing that second game in under 22 minutes.
Insane. That was the play by Desrim. He lines it up, the stars were aligned, and the whole squad from KVM Mechelen was aligned as well, all taking so much damage. And we'll have to look at the at the damage graphs here. We'll bring them up as we go. There it is. It is so much damage from Azir on the side of KVM, and on the side of Iron Squad, I would have expected Corki to be the one, but it is actually just Zed who has been punching in the face of Mortar all game long. It's crazy. You have a frontliner who does the most damage. That's League of Legends right there for you.
The frontliner who does the most damage. Of course, we expect a lot of damage from Zed, regardless of the fact that he's frontliner or not. It's just Zed. He has so much damage with that haymaker, the extra damage on his double punch, buffing himself with his Q. I don't know what it's called actually. Fist of Fury. Probably not. Would be cool though. Yes.
It has a.
It has a name.
1-2 punch or something like that.
Oh, okay. Almost as good as Fist of Fury,
Almost.
I guess.
Almost.
And Iron Squad taking the win here over KVM Academy, meaning they go through to the next round. I have an itch in my eye. I apologize. It's gone.
I'll allow it.
Thanks. Team Thrill beating Moosh Gaming 2-0. Iron Squad beating KVM Esports 2-0. So that means the next semifinal will be the first semifinal. Sorry, will be Team Thrill Academy versus Iron Squad Academy. And seeing how strong Iron Squad actually played here against KVM Academy, that could be a very interesting game between those two. The other two quarterfinals haven't been finished yet, or at least the scores haven't been uploaded. So Bastards versus Genk and Connecting versus SGC are still playing. So we'll wait and see what the plans are over there.
Yeah, we will be right back, possibly with more games of this Open Tour Benelux. So grab yourself a drink, get a little breather after this pretty convincing stomp from Iron Squad, and we'll be right back with more League of Legends.